Sorry. Good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock and it's time to start our Finance and Audit Committee meeting. Let me take row. I'm here. Karina Lizondo. She said she was on her way, so hi. Mercurio Martinez.
Present.
And Adriana Alexander.
Present.
And then Esteban is here. So,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
all right, let's get going with the July 2025 financial report. Cesar Vela.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Ramirez. For the record, Cesar Vela, VP of Finance and Administration. Included with your board packet, you received a copy of the July 2025 financial report. We'll go over the items. We'll begin with the general operating revenues. As of July 31st, 2025, revenues totaled 78,540,188. That represents 96.6% of our budget. Some of the items that are pending are state appropriations. We are pending to receive the last payment, and that totals 5.5 million. In addition to that, we are still pending to receive the fast funding from the state. We've had some delays as far as the last payment for the appropriation and the fast funding. We are expected to receive those funds. Again, once we receive the pending 5.5 and the 2.4 that we have allocated for fast funding, we are projected to end the year with total revenues of 86.5 million. So we will surpass our projections by about 5.5 million. Again, so at this point, we're only just pending the last month of operation. And the two main items that we're pending on the revenue side, again, is the last payment for the appropriations and the fast funding. As far as the general operating expenses for the year, we have total expenses of 66,169,206. That's about 81.34%. We are projected to close out the fiscal year with approximately $7 to $8 million in savings. We are projected to have about 13 million in the last of expenses in the last month. So with the with the 7 million projected savings and the 6 million and a half in additional revenue, we're projecting to end the fiscal year with a surplus of 13.5 million. As far as the other funds, the Global Logistics Center, we had a budget of 329,284. The actual revenue from the state came in at 141,164. Expenses for the center total 210,448. So we do have a reduction to the fund balance of 69,284. This particular fund has an excess of about 300,000. And so for this year, we did budget to use the fund balance to purchase equipment for the center. So again, that is the reason that you're seeing a decrease in the fund balance. And again, the funding from the state can only be used for this specific purpose. So one of the goals is to make sure that we don't maintain a fund balance in this particular center, because it is monies that are appropriated from the state for the global import program. Auxiliary services, total revenues are 1,484,313. The expenses are 1,527,681. For a net reduction right now of 43,368 to the fund balance. And again, this particular item also includes some expenses that are in the student services area. Again, we did allocate funding for additional student employee positions that are currently being paid out of the fund balance. And again, this particular fund in the student services also has a fund balance that needs to be maintained or drawn down again. So it is funding additional student employee positions for the year. And that is the reason why you're seeing a decrease in the fund balance of 43,368. As far as restricted funds, the total revenue and expenses total 33,976,600. The bulk of it is federal funding, primarily financial aid. So for that one line item, financial aid total for the year was 26,486,137. So again, that is the main funding is coming from the Title IV Federal Pell Grant Program. As far as the facilities master plan, we continue to wind down on the last three remaining projects. We have finalized the more welding lab improvements. We continue to work on punch list items for the Lamar Bruni Vergara Center, and we have finalized or working also on punch list items for the diesel shop expansion project. So for the balance, we currently have a balance as of July 31st of 349,841. And again, these are pending the final payouts for those three projects. As far as tax collections for July 31st, the collections total $45,434,053. That represents 98% of our tax levy. We do have 1 month pending, which is the month of August. We are projected to collect an additional 80,000 for that month. So again, we have exceeded our projections of 97% at this point.
Good.
The monthly investment report, and this is information as of June 30th. We currently have total investments and deposits of 141,562,183. The breakdown of that is we have currently 72 million in bank deposits with Falcon Bank, yielding 3.41%. One change is that we did move out some money from the bank deposits into a CD, and that CD is with Southside Bank, a total of 12 million. Yielding a 4.10%, and an additional new CD with Texas Bank and Trust of a 5 million, yielding 4.5%. Again, we're trying to maximize the return. Currently, the bank deposits are yielding 3.41, and moving out the money to those CDs, we're getting a little bit higher than the 4% on those returns. So the breakdown is 72 million currently in bank deposits. We have approximately 21.7 in the investment pools, and the remaining balance of 47.8 million are currently in CDs. And the last item that I have is just an update on the general operating fund balance. We began the fund balance with the general operating fund balance with a balance of 23,454,416. We have revenues through July 31st of 78,493,148. Expenses for the year total 66,169,206. We do have the transfer for the deferred maintenance projects for the year of 6,055,312. So currently, right now, we have an increase to the general operating fund balance of 6,268,630. We do have pending that additional revenue from the state. And again, based on the projected savings, we should end the year with an increase to the fund balance of approximately $13 million. Currently, right now, the 23.4 million represent approximately 27% of the proposed 2026 general operating budget. So again, we are maintaining that goal of maintaining 20% in the fund balance right now. And that is the update on the July financial report. Any questions or concerns on
Yes.
any of the items?
I do have a question. In the general operating revenue, there's a change of 1.173 million. Any reason why? Normally, we do have we are expecting an increase in enrollment, yet there's a decrease in the
in the
balance.
tuition.
What's the reason for it?
Yes. Yes. So you're looking at the proposed 2026 budget.
Yes, yes.
So that decrease is a transfer that we're proposing from the general use fee to cover deferred maintenance projects. So in addition to the allocation that is made out of the savings, we built in 1.1 million or almost 1.2 million in the general operating budget to cover some deferred maintenance projects. We
Madam
do have
Chair.
a list of projects for this coming year, and there is a significant investment. Primarily, we're looking at central plant upgrades. We're talking about chiller replacements, cooling tower replacements. In addition to those projects, we do have here at the main campus one building that will require for us to restore the roof, and that's the Laird Hall building. And that is the reason why we are including that 1.2 million in
And
the
just
budget.
for the record, and just a point of order, so that proposed FY '26 is for next year.
It's for
What
next
he was showing you right now is the July budget where we are today. Oh, okay, so there's gonna be some differences, and that's a later agenda item where we'll go over the FY '26 proposals. So I think that's why there's a
There's a
discrepancy. Yes, so if you don't mind,
Okay.
You know, this is really nice.
Thank
Are
you.
we each
That's-
going to get one at the meeting tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is really nice. I think this is the first time we've had something like this that goes into so much detail and stuff. Thank
That-
you.
that's the last agenda item.
This is our
The
last,
FY '26, our proposal for next year.
is this?
Yes, so we'll get there in a minute.
I don't know, but this is really good. Going through this. All right. Any other questions? Cari's here.
For the record.
For the record, Cari's here. You were stuck with a train.
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and go to number 4. Discuss the annual subscription for the library, Sears Dynex Enterprise System. Cesar Vela?
Yes, members of the board, this next item is to request approval for the annual maintenance renewal for the library's Symphony software in the amount of $104,765.77. The license fees and the maintenance runs from September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026. And basically, this is the system that is utilized by the library to have their inventory control and their circulation control. Basically, it is what we would call the banner system for the library. This is the system that tracks all the their inventory and when the items are checked out by students. The funding for these licenses is will be covered under the fiscal year 2026 budget. And again, this is for next fiscal year. The agreement runs from September 1st through August 31st, 2026. Any questions?
Any questions? No? All right, let's go ahead for number 5. Discuss the annual license renewal for the Turnitin Feedback Studio Enterprise. Cesar Vela?
Yes, board members, for this item, we're asking that the board approve the renewal of the Turnitin Feedback Studio Enterprise. This is, purchase is being done through TIPS contract number 210101. at a total cost of $54,293.80. And basically, this is the software that is utilized to check for plagiarism, so that when students turn in their essays and their work. Again, this contract runs from September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026. Again, it is for next fiscal year. The funds for this purchase are included in the fiscal year 2026 budget. Any questions?
Good. Any questions from anybody? All right, number 6, discuss the purchase of equipment and supplies for the forensic science program.
Yes, board members, we are asking that the board approve using the new initiative funds for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $144,399.16 for the purchase of the following items, and these are instructional supplies from Sergi for the forensics program, and this is in the amount of $14,299.22. Also, instructional supplies from GALS for the forensics program in the amount of $7,229.10. Camera equipment from B&H in the amount of $17,431.97. And the purchase of a forensic laser scanner from Faro Technologies, Inc. in the amount of $105,438.87. This is, all this equipment and supplies are going to be utilized in the new forensic sciences program. Again, the funding is coming from the 2025 new initiative funding that we have currently in the 2025 budget. Purchases are being made through the E&I contract number EI 00221-P. And we also requested quotes for the supplies. And then we issued out a request for bids for the forensic laser scanner. And for that, we only had one response, and that was Faro Technologies, Inc. At a cost of $105,438.87.
I do have a question. How's the demand? Of course, forensic is frankly one of the newer technologies, in a manner of speaking. How's the demand? The student, are they really getting into this? I'd like for you to provide us with a little bit background on it.
Sure. Good afternoon, members of the committee. Heriberto Hernandez, Associate Provost. We do have a large demand, not only from the industry, from the law enforcement agencies, primarily because the strategy that the law enforcement agencies are using is, instead of having a uniformed police officer process the crime scene, they're now looking at civilians to process the crime scene. Right? And that has an impact, because more uniformed officers will be on the street, not taken away from to process the crime scene. So a lot of law enforcement agencies across the state are moving in that direction, but the demand actually from the student side and interest is significant. We have approximately, this first group of students, we have about 40 students, and we have measured growth because we're growing the program, but as of last count, we have approximately 40 students that are in the program, and the last comment that I received from the director is that they're all female students, right? Which is kind of
Wow.
All of the cohort is strictly female.
You know,
That might have changed from a couple of days ago, but that was the last.
forensic is a new technology that apparently is gaining more and more, how shall I say, support. And obviously, the individuals that are within the overall program.
Yes.
So what you actually see is you see a greater interest and greater enrollment in that particular field.
In that particular field, yes, it's definitely gained some traction. We did have a lot of interest also, but mainly from high school students, right? So we do have several informational sessions, and they were very well attended. We do have a screening process because it's very technology-based program, and we want to have a good quality program. But definitely this equipment will really set us aside from many other institutions, particularly the Faro laser scanner. It's the most up-to-date equipment. It'll scan a crime scene. It'll give you measurements. It'll
Wow.
give you even animation as to what might have happened in the room, right? And it can be used for multiple purposes, including to train our own police staff here in the college in case we, any type of investigation might arise.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
Do you encourage the faculty when on the new, whenever they're offering additional classes or of the new technology, is that basically encouraging the faculty or the staff that is involved in that area to continue attending some of these new how shall I say,
Professional
The
development,
new
overall
developments.
innovative
training.
Yes, sir.
approaches to
Yes,
the technology of forensics.
Correct. All of our programs, including forensic science technology, we have a professional development plan for each of the programs, just to make sure that we're up to date with
Excellent.
all the newest technologies. We
That's
also have
great.
great working relationships with all the law enforcement agencies here locally and across the state because of our academy. So we're always tapping into those resources as well.
That's great. You need to continue to encouraging, particularly the faculty,
Yes, sir.
keep up to date because it's an overall, improvement and changes and that apply to this particular science, if I may
Yes,
call
Yeah.
it that.
correct.
That's right.
I think probably a lot of it has to do, and the interest comes from all those programs on TV,
There are a lot
all
of
those
shows.
forensic, I mean, we'd never heard of it before.
Well,
We really hadn't.
We
Yeah.
also have a female
They're all
coroner.
females.
Yeah, we have a female coroner, and she's
Yeah, that's right.
she's done a lot for
That's
our
right.
community, and so Dr. Corin Stearns, who's part of the advisory committee, has offered a lot of support to Dr. Heriberto and their team who organized this and started the program, and so it's been a great development of the program itself and the training that the faculty have received, and then now the students, the training that they're getting because of that. So it's going to be a really big program for us. I think the other part of that is that most of our students are bilingual. And so there are lots of agencies, both at the state
That's
and
right.
federal level, looking for the kind of
if-
student we can produce.
If we can, or the college can actually continue promoting it in advertisements and overall, encourage, shall I say, encourage the enrollment of getting additional support and enrollment in that field because it is really
That's great.
quite a.
So student demand we
an
have,
upcoming-
finding qualified instructors.
That's
That's
probably-
that's where we're
that's where
trying to
the
grow our
problem
own.
is.
And because the student demand we have and the interest within our faculty we have, getting them to be fully certified is another
another-
level of opportunities that we have.
And the most interesting is that they're all females, the
Yes.
students. That's amazing.
That is.
It is.
I've
I
never
mean,
had that
they're all
where
female.
it's all
I
female.
would never think of doing that,
Which is good,
I guess so.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
May I?
Yes,
Question?
I'm sorry.
Dr. Heriberto, on Dr.
Eddie.
Heriberto.
Eddie.
Sorry, just really quick, a couple of questions. On this one, I know that the equipment that we're purchasing is supplies and some of it is equipment like the laser scanner. And I know yesterday you were speaking about the stakeholders. Is this based on them asking that this is what they would like to be trained? Or is it something that is based on the core curriculum that they need to get certified for like knowing how to use a laser scanner, whatever this is, a forensic? Is it because of the curriculum that is being asked, or is it because of the stakeholders wanting the students to know how to use this equipment?
It's a combination of both,
Both,
right?
okay.
So yesterday at the advisory committee, I discussed the exploratory committee of
Mhm.
when a new program is formed. So when this new program was formed, we brought in all the law enforcement agencies. So I mentioned yesterday, they drive the curriculum. So this equipment aligns with the curriculum. Yes,
And
sir.
with what they're
And with
using
what
out
they're
there?
using, yes. So we have, for example, we have three courses in death investigation and crime scene processing, and that's where this would come into play.
How long is this program?
This is a 1-year certificate and all the way up to a associate's degree. Yeah, so with
And
this,
would you happen to know, and I don't know if you do,
Mhm.
but like, what's the range of pay for this type of job?
so based on the city here, I think it was averaged between 47,000 to 57,000. That was the range. Yes, sir. For entry level, right? Entry level process. The other factor is that there's a current pool with the current law enforcement officers, the current police officers who can also go through this program if they want to become a criminal investigator or move
Okay.
up or upskill their
resume.
careers. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The last question that I have, I know Ms. Alexander was asking me, and I'll ask for her. She was texting me if any of these vendors are local, or if there's any local vendors that we can tap into.
Not to my knowledge, none of these.
I kind of want to say no because it's a
No.
very specific,
That's
equipment, but just to
Mhm.
know, is there any people, any vendors locally that could do that?
Not that I'm aware of, but I could definitely, at least not to the level of the type of equipment that's here. I know the Faro, that's only pretty much one company that develops that technology. The camera equipment, that might be something that we might find here locally, but we went with the specifications that our law enforcement partners are using. Because again, we want to expose them to what they're going to see once they get to their respective agencies.
What they're
So,
using out
What they're using out there, yes, sir.
there. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Are you sure? I'd imagine that would be something very
Specific.
specific, and I don't think
Yeah, I
we
doubt
have
it.
anything here.
And I'm sure,
Go ahead.
I'm sure they went through the whole process of getting bid, publishing the
Yeah.
bid,
Yes.
offering to individuals to apply.
Yeah.
I hope so.
No, we,
Yeah, I'm sure
kidding.
they do.
I'm joking. I heard that Faro only submitted one.
All right, the next one is the Discuss the Computer Solutions Annual Net Watch Managed Service Agreement.
Good afternoon, members of the Finance and Audit Committee. Albert Chavez, Associate VP of Information Technology. For this particular item, we're requesting approval for the annual renewal of our annual NetWatch Managed Services Agreement that is provided through the company Computer Solutions. This particular service will be procured using a DIR contract, DIR CPO 5034, and the annual amount is $82,369.08. This particular service provides monitoring and management of our critical infrastructure components for the campus. And this renewal is for the next fiscal year, and it starts September 1, 2025 through August 31st of 2026. This particular item is budgeted under our contracted services in the IT department.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next is discuss the insurance premium renewals for the academic year. That's a biggie. That's a real biggie.
you'll be pleased. You'll be pleased.
Good. Good, good, good.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Dr. Ramirez, David Arazola, Vice President of Compliance and Risk Management, and Interim Vice President for Student Success and Enrollment, for the record. As part of the budget proposal for this year, we include the insurance premiums for all our coverages. So just as a reminder, we do have several coverages. We have property, general liability, school leader liability, which covers all of us, right? Liability for our law enforcement officers, any type of crime, either, I guess, a regular crime or cyber crime. We also have the NSO there stands for the Nurses Service Organization, I think. But that's malpractice insurance for our students, right? So it's professional liability for our students who are out in clinicals. We have a TASB risk management fund, which covers our auto liability, any type of physical damage, and the workers' compensation. We have a museum collection coverage for some of our artwork in the art department. We also have a student accident insurance, and new this year. Well, we kind of started last year, but for the first time for a full year, we'll also have event liability insurance. A little bit of good news with the insurance premiums from last year to this year. Certainly, some of them have gone up, some of them have gone down, but our property insurance, which is our major one, has actually decreased by 5.6%. A big part of the contributing factor to our lower insurance premium there is because in late January, early February, right, we had our insurance adjuster come in and inspect some of the roofs. Thanks to Mr. Vela and his team, they've been working on them. And because of the updated roofs, we were able to lower our premium quite a bit. And so some of the others might have gone up, and so some of the others actually came down a little bit. But in total, for all our insurance coverages, we actually stayed down negative 0.88%. That's about the same from last year to this year. From total expenditures of $2,058,873. Rusty on my math there. To $2,040,765. So a little bit less than what we paid last year, but again, about the same. The only one, the event liability, we still don't have the full quote yet. That's still a kind of an approximation of what we expect to pay from what we paid last year. But that event liability insurance covers our major events like Fall Fest, Fun Fest, the car show, the Christmas tree lighting. So any type of accidents that might happen in there. But so again, overall, some fairly good news. We actually expect almost every year to have to increase by 25%. So this year is actually about the same.
Very good. Gabby?
Excuse me, who are our insurance providers? Because I know that, are you referring to as USI?
USI is our insurance broker. So they go out and basically shop insurance companies for us. I think we've had them for a while. It's a Liberty Mutual does most of it. I have them as Cassandra Salinas, our safety and risk director.
Cassandra Salinas, Director of Safety and Risk. So for property, GL, school leaders, law enforcement, cyber and crime, we do use the broker. They do go out for bid. Right now, there are no insurance companies wanting to pick up education. So we have stuck with Liberty Mutual for a couple years now.
Okay.
Choices are getting very limited.
Yes.
Okay,
So
perfect.
there, if I may, right now in all educational entities are having trouble finding insurance companies to insure us.
Wow.
Because of all of the campus shootings.
Yes.
Oh.
And everybody's afraid to take on those liabilities. And so what we've been told, or it has been recommended to us at the state and national level, is whoever you have as a carrier, keep them.
Hold on to them.
Yeah.
Because there's this big threat, even among some of the biggest insurers. They're being very cautious or careful about who they pick up as new clients because of all of the campus issues that they're
I'm trying to
having.
check our statistics and.
They do.
But I think based on the police reports that we've seen on a monthly basis, I mean, I think we have a pretty safe.
Locally,
campus.
we do,
do.
but
Nationally,
educational, well, on our campus, we do, but they look at all the educational institutions within a particular region, and they take into account school shootings, car accidents,
Everything.
sexual assaults, And even if those sexual assaults are found to be unfounded, the mere fact that
Yeah,
they're
that they were
reported,
reported.
and we have to report, not that there's been any here, but other institutions have. Domestic violence within the institutions, all of those are taken into account, campus fights. So right now, it's like, hold,
Just grab onto what we have.
Madam Chair, may I?
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Just real quick, and I know you're saying that we shop with our broker, and I'm not saying I don't know anything about this, but have we ourselves considered like calling the insurance to see if like we have a one-to-one, or is it better to go with a broker?
It is easier to go with a broker. Right now, nobody isn't accepting any coverages. I know there was the rat, no, the gecko.
The guy-
The gecko. He's
Geico,
not.
Geico.
Good one.
He's not accepting anybody. They don't want to take education systems, education sectors at all. We
Wow.
can reach out to them if you'd like. For
No.
next-
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that was an option, or is it? I mean, because I understand,
Yes.
sometimes even us as private citizens, we kind of get a broker to get the house insurance, car
Yes.
insurance, or whatever, right? But I'm just wondering if it's simpler to just call and say, hey, Geico, and we're shopping. Are you interested? But I'm just wondering if we do that, or if it's.
So
if
for
it's
some
a
of the smaller
practice.
ones, like Huntington, the Student Insurance Services, the event, the NSO, we did
You
go,
do that.
yes.
Okay. And do you like shop around with everybody that's like a bit brighter, or do you just go with certain ones that are already, that we've worked with?
So these have been here prior to me. I have shopped around, but this is our best offer.
Okay. Last question that I have is on the deductibles, are they all different for each one?
Yes.
What's our highest and what's our lowest? I don't know if you know on top of your head.
So our highest deductible would be our property.
Of course.
We have to meet 500,000.
500,000.
And then after that, it'll go.
Oh.
It'll kick in.
Interesting.
And just for the record, even TASB has gotten out of the insurance business.
Wow.
They only do our unemployment and
Workers' comp and
and
all.
workers' comp. And
Wow.
They won't do it. Yes, ma'am.
What about the museum collection and loan items coverage?
Okay, so for the museum collection, we did receive a lot of artwork from the house. And then when, if anything becomes damaged here, they'll either replace it, give us the funds to replace it. This past year, we had an art show at the VPA, and we did cover artwork that was displayed there. It got damaged, so we replaced that. We gave the
Thank
artist those
you.
funds, yeah.
So
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, all right, next one.
Good job, Vicente.
I'm lost.
Nice.
Because, okay, number 9, discuss a proposal for the Laredo College fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate.
Madam Chair, members of the board. Cesar Vela, VP of Finance and Administration. For the record, this next item is just to provide a presentation on the proposed 2026 budget. Again, this item will be up for consideration at the board meeting tomorrow night. You did receive a copy of the presentation as well as a copy of the booklets that go with the budget. I do want to just point out that, want to apologize that the booklets were not ready for distribution earlier. We were working with TASB on finalizing the salary line items. We got that information on Monday, and so that is the reason why the booklets were not sent out earlier. And I'll begin with the first items. Again, the development of the budget included some items, planning factors. For revenues, it includes a $1.3 million increase in state funding. We are also including a 1-cent property tax rate decrease. By proposing and adopting the no new revenue rate, we officially are not increasing taxes for this coming year. And also, we're not including a tuition and fee increase. And as I mentioned at the budget workshop earlier in June, this is the 11th year that we have not increased tuition and fees. The last increase was in 2014, the spring of 2014. And the tax collection rate is projected again at 97%. So it's been, I know that for this year, we reached 98%. We are keeping it at 97% to be on the safe side. As far as expenditures, we are including TASB's recommendation of including a 3% general pay increase for all eligible employees, and that is at a cost of $1,066,000. We're also implementing the pay scale adjustments as recommended by TASB, and this is again to realign the pay structures to market and to alleviate pay compressions at a cost of $379,000. So those are included as part of the salary line items. In addition, we are keeping up with our Palomino pledge. So we have a set aside of $2 million for the Palomino pledge. We're also maintaining the student meal plan, and that at a cost of $1 million, and it is in the general operating budget. And this is to Judge Martinez's question. We are including $1.2 million set aside for deferred maintenance, and that is coming from the general use fee. So it is a transfer off from the tuition and fee revenue into the deferred maintenance, and this is part of the general operating fund budget. And again, this is to cover some additional needs that we have for this coming fiscal year. We do have, as part of the salary line item, we have an increase of $629,000, and this is to fund 7 new faculty positions and 2 academic support positions. And the positions are primarily, again, in those new programs, construction management and forensic sciences. It includes $5.2 million of new equipment. The original request had come close to about $8 million. We did have to compromise and reduce those requests down by approximately $1.9 million. So the budget that will be proposed tomorrow night includes $5.2 million of equipment. And you do have a listing of the equipment on your booklet by division. One item that we're also including as a set aside is $75,000, and this is for scholarships for employees that are pursuing their master's or PhD degrees. And again, this will be for advancement of employees, both faculty and staff members who are pursuing a higher degree.
Yes.
On that one too, Cesar, really quick on how are we selecting those staff members, or is it kind of like a free for all?
No, so the way we're envisioning the program to work, first of all, we're looking, there's someone that we think will match the 75,000 to make it 150,000.
Because first of all, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah,
But
and so especially in some of our very specialized areas, to find the qualified people who have the licensures to have the program. As you all remember, last year we had a gentleman in the welding program who got that master specialized training and certificate, and we recognized him. We need to be able to do that more and help our employees do that more. My idea is to have an application process, and that they would get funding for by semester, assuming that they continue to do well in the program and stay enrolled in the program.
and have
And
a certain
so-
GPA on it.
And have well, in any graduate program, anything below a B, you're kicked out.
Yeah.
So the idea is that their academic standing has to be based on their program, but certainly that they continue full-time enrollment or enrollment. And we'll come up with the criteria, then they'll submit a form. We'll put together a committee, and we'll be able to determine how much we can give each semester to support. And
And
so
it-
ideally, what I'd like to do is, we have right now about 8 people in PhD programs that I know of. And we have a whole other group of people that are in master's programs. And then in our workforce area, we have another group, and Heriberto, I don't know if you have the exact number, but we have a group of people who are trying to get their master licensures,
That's good.
and they're expensive.
So, and again, I think this is a great thing, and I'm happy you're putting these parameters in place, because it's always a great thing to have a healthy bench, and because, eventually people leave, right? And,
Right.
or retire, or whatever it is. So it's very important to have a very healthy bench. So I think this is a great thing. I'm happy that you're also tapping into just the certifications if they
Yeah.
also want to become a Master X,
Yes.
YZ. That's a great thing as well. I'm just hoping that this is not something that the director or whoever's going to be in charge does not want somebody
No.
underneath them to not get it because they're going to feel that, oh, well, I'm going to have a doctor underneath me and I don't
Right.
even have a doctor's degree. I hope it's not like that, and I hope they don't take it like that, because it's a good thing to have somebody that's going to take your position one day, right? And
Right.
and that you can train and you could have him or her ready. So I just hope it doesn't turn into that. 'Cause-
Well, the line item, the budget, that line item is going to be put in my budget.
Okay,
So
great.
it's going to be managed out
You.
of our
Okay,
office.
good.
Yes, sir. And that's my goal, if
Yes.
it gets passed tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Great job. Thank you, Cesar.
Yeah.
If I may, I think it's very, very important, and I go along with Mr. Ronquet. We need to continue to encourage and promote this particular program, particularly more so in providing additional financial support, because it's got to become more and more expensive for many of the faculty to go and get their advanced degrees.
Right.
Particularly more so when they have to go out of town. They're not only paying that additional tuition, but also they're paying their apartments, they're paying whatever it is of their, if we can provide some financial assistance and encouraging all of these faculties that obviously do need to get their advanced degrees, it is important to let them know that we're here
To help.
to at least help them out, at least
With a little
able to
bit.
subsidize part of that additional expense. Because as already all of us are aware of it, it's got to become more and more expensive.
Yes, sir, Judge.
No
And
question
just,
about it.
so people are aware, now under new federal statute, there's a cap to how much people can borrow for master's and PhD or professional programs. So they're gonna have to end up paying out of pocket. And even if the programs are online, there's typically a residency requirement where they'll have to go either for a week or a weekend, and they're doing
Whatever.
this on their own time. So in addition to their responsibilities to Laredo College, they're doing this on their own time to try to get ahead. I think it's in good conscience of the college to provide them with a little incentive to help them keep
continue.
going. So,
Got
And
it?
let the word out, let
Yeah.
the faculty know that
once it passes, I'll send it out to everybody.
El judge is gonna match the 75,000.
I think we have a donor. I'm hoping.
Hopefully. Yeah, let Karina
Okay,
first
go
and
ahead.
then.
Well, first, I would like to please ask for consideration that maybe one of the board members can be appointed to be part of the selection committee. I think that would be
Sure,
nice.
that would,
That would
be
nice.
great.
That would,
Yeah.
that
And
would.
then,
once it passes.
mañana. And then to Dr. Heriberto, sorry, this passed shortly after you got your PhD. But I
But
think,
that was my idea. Honestly, that was because I saw what was
and he's
going
a great
on.
example of why we need programs like
Yeah.
this. I'm sure it will, maybe a reimbursement. I'm joking.
Something, a little.
I'm joking. Thank you.
Adriana.
I was just gonna ask, if you do provide this help for the 75,000, is there a requirement for the staff to stay here a certain amount of years?
So legally, I'll leave that to Mr. Muir, but I don't think that legally we can. We can certainly encourage. I know that some of my colleagues are doing it because we've talked about it, and they are requiring a minimum of 2 years, a 2-year commitment after they graduate. But I don't know if, I don't know, legally, Mr. Muir, can we do that?
We could certainly look into it. There are sections of the law that frown upon putting in contracts restrictions for individuals to remain working there, even anti-competitive clauses, and there are certain tests that you have to meet for those to be enforceable. But we could look at that. We certainly can.
Madam Chair, touching base on that one, I think that's a really good question because if we're going to invest so much money, that is very true, right? So can you have that? Can you have an answer for us by tomorrow, Rusty? And if not, I do know that I know that we were doing it in LISD, but I don't think we can hold them. But I think there could be a
Encouragement.
well, not an encouragement, but
Incentive.
it's I think you're asked to pay a percentage back or something like that. I'm not sure, Rusty, if you could just check on it, because I think it is
Okay.
important. I mean, if we're
an
gonna invest
investment.
if we're gonna invest on somebody, I mean, give us a year, 2
Something.
years of a
Mhm.
commitment,
Sure.
because it just makes sense, right? So I think that's a real good question. If hopefully you could have an answer for us, Rusty.
Yeah,
by
we'll look
tomorrow.
at it today. And then I think we can get you an answer by tomorrow.
I know in the private sector,
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
That's the
They,
perfect.
and then not only do they require you to stay, they only fund certain degrees.
Right.
Like in banking, it's got to be
Well,
about in business.
And that's what we're looking
Yeah.
at. So if you're if you're
History.
teaching history, that your master's or PhD be in the
In the
field that you're
field
teaching. So if I have a forensic
Mhm.
person, that it would be in their field, because if not, then,
Mhm.
it doesn't really make sense. And
Right.
so, yes,
Right.
that will be
Good.
taken into account, yes.
Good. Thank you. Any other questions? No? All right, we go into the last one?
Wait, he's not
No.
finished. He's not finished.
No, we're still in the last one.
Yes. And the last item is on the planning factors. We are including the funding for the new programs, like we mentioned, for forensic science and
Yeah.
construction management. Part of the proposal to approve some of the equipment that you saw this afternoon is coming from that new initiative money that was in the
Mhm.
25 budget. Again, now that money has rolled into the individual departments, so they're being now funded for the new year. Quickly, just to go over the general operating revenue for 2025, our budget is 81,103,542. The proposed 2026 revenue budget is 86,479,507. That's an increase of 5.3 million, or approximately 6% from the current budget. The major changes, again, we are seeing an increase in state funding of 1.3 million. Now, keep in mind that so far right now, we're still pending the final number from the state, but this is, as of yesterday, this is the latest number that we have, 1.3, so there could be a change. But it is, we're hoping that it'll remain at 1.3 million. The decrease in tuition and fees of 1.1 million, that is the transfer that we're proposing from the general use fee to the deferred maintenance to cover some of the roofs that are still pending to be repaired. Tax revenue, we have an increase of 4.4 million. And you may ask the question why we're saying that we're not increasing taxes. The reason for that is that we do have new property valuation this year, approximately half a billion in new properties. That totaled about almost $2 million in additional revenue for the year. And then again, the difference of the 2 and the 4.4 has to do with the rate. We did see a decrease in the rate, and the decrease came primarily on the debt service side, not on the M&O side. So that's generating that additional 2 million. So again, We are proposing to adopt the no new revenue rate, which will essentially give us the same tax revenue as this year.
This year.
The increases that we're seeing are primarily because of the new
Because of the-
valuations.
Right.
Uh,
And just for the record, the state appropriations and certain revenues that we get from the state or the federal government cannot be used for auxiliary services. So things like roofs. So there's certain
Things
things
that are.
we just can't, I mean, yes, it's going up, but we can't use it for auxiliary services.
Right.
So I want to caution because there's, it looks like a lot, but yet,
But
it's all restricted money.
right.
And the last item I'm sorry, in the general operating revenue is the fund balance. As you can see there was a 3.5 million in '25. For this coming year, we have 2.8 million, which is a decrease of 724,000. Again, this is money that is allocated based on the revenue that we're projecting that has potentially be utilized for these new programs that we're implementing. Quickly, just to go on this next slide is just to give you the breakdown of how our budget is made up of. 27% is coming from state appropriations, 11% from tuition, 6.5% from fees. Other revenues, 0.03%, and local taxes of 55%. When we compare this to the current budget, has not changed
That much.
but at all. Actually, last year we were at 27% for state appropriations. And for local taxes, we're at 53%. So again, not a major variance or change. For the expenditures, for 2025, the budget was 81,103,542. For 2026, the proposed expenditures total 86,479,507. Again, an increase of 5,375,965, or an increase of 6%. The major changes or the major increase is again the implementation of the 3% and the recommended changes in the salary structures by TASB, and that totals 3,041,298. We are increasing fringe benefits. We are expecting an increase in the health insurance premiums, as well as a slight adjustment to the amount that will be needed for the contributions, the employer contributions to Social Security. And that totals 394,652. Equipment, an increase of 1,078,358. Like I mentioned, requests came in at almost $9 million. We reduced that amount to 5.2 million. And the equipment line item, we're also including all the maintenance agreements, not just the equipment, but also all the maintenance and the components that come up with the equipment request. So we do have an increase of 1,078,358. Supplies, and this includes the instructional supplies, an increase of 756,500. For student expenses, we are proposing the current year budget to roll over to next year. And that 3.9 million, again, includes the Palomino pledge, 2 million, and the 1 million for the meal plan. Bad debt, and these are all the uncollectible accounts. We're maintaining that to be at 300,000. The contingency, and this is for unexpected items that may arise, we're increasing the budget to 55,157 to 75,000 for the year. This next item, employee events, it's not a new item. It is being identified on a new, separately now. It used to be part of the human resources budget. We are now identifying it separately. And that is why you see a 0, because before we didn't have it as an employee event. It was all within the line items within the HR office. So it is not a new line item. It is just included as a separate line item now. Professional development, we're proposing to roll forward the 2025 budget as well as contracted services. Again, no increases to those two line items. As you saw, for contracted services, the property insurance, there was no increase, and we're also expecting similar or other items that are paid out of the contracted services to not increase. And we also identified savings within this line item. Therefore, we're proposing to just roll over the current year budget. And again, this was part of the strategy to balance the budget, essentially reduce 1.9 million from equipment, and then propose rolling forward student expenses, current budgets, as well as professional development and contracted services. Any questions on the expenditure?
No, very good.
Just quickly, just expenditures by classification. Again, this percentages did not change from the current year to the proposed year. The main item is salaries. That represents 51.78% of our budget, followed by operating expenses, and this includes supplies and all the other items that are not accounted under the equipment line item. That line item represents 24.74%, followed by the benefits of 10,752,000, and that represents 12.43% of our budget. Equipment, 9.60% of our budget, and again, compared to the current budget, those allocations remained pretty much the same.
Sure.
Very
Madam
good.
Chair, may I?
Yes.
Thank you. We didn't want to do the court reporting, or where's that at? I still think it's a great program, and I mean, it pays very well, and it doesn't take that long to get that.
So we have the advisory committee going. Dr. Hernandez can tell you, but he does have an advisory group. They're working on curriculum. Heriberto, do you want to give an update? We are working on it, so.
I know it's a huge demand, and it just pays very well.
Yes.
And I just think it's something that there's a lot of people that probably could come in, get it certified, and it just helps the economy.
Sir, I hear it every day from my
I mean,
husband.
where are we with that,
So
Dr. Heriberto?
we're currently at the exploratory advisory committee phase that was mentioned yesterday. We do have a pretty good group. Right now, we're trying to develop a curriculum plan, which is the best curriculum to have that will lead to those certifications. The challenge that we are running into is the faculty who's
To
going to
get
teach.
somebody.
Yeah.
That's the hard part?
That is the hard part, because as it is, it's already a thin workforce, so they're all working. So to get someone to teach the courses.
Have we, I don't know, and I'm just thinking, have we looked at somebody that's retired and might want to just come
They
in?
don't let them retire.
Yeah.
They don't let them retire.
No,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there is someone, she's not local, but she's here now and she works in one of the court. She wants to retire and she wants to teach. She just can't retire because they can't find a replacement.
That's what I mean.
And
That's why
she's
it's
on
so
the
important.
committee.
She is on the committee. The other factor is the credential of value aspect, right? So when it goes to the state funding, if those programs are not on the credential of value list, we might run into some issues of not getting funded for that program. So we're looking at all those factors. But we do have an advisory committee working on it.
Thank you. I just let's just not let it go of that. I think it's a great program. So, but yeah, I was just wondering
Agree
because,
with you.
thank you, sir.
Mercurio has a, okay.
I'm just going to bring up an observation, if I may call it that. Laredo College is the only community college that I know of in the state that, in addition to the retirement program, there's also a Social Security that is deducted for employees, okay? Which in my opinion, at the time that it was done, it was a big, big plus. Right now, the Trump administration is pushing hard to eliminate Social Security. And I hope that will never happen. But there is still tremendous amount of controversy there in Washington. If that were to happen, I think the administration and the members of the board here, we ought to perhaps come up with some way in which we can, in lieu of Social Security, if it's going to be eliminated from the government, perhaps we can find another source in addition to the teacher retirement that will continue providing overall assistance when the time does come for a faculty member or administration does come to retire. Because believe it or not, the overall retirement, teacher retirement can help, but it's not enough.
Right.
All right. And right now, the fact that those faculty members that have retired are getting teacher retirement in addition to Social Security retirement, which is a plus. Okay. But I think perhaps I'm just,
So it did,
bringing it up.
so recently, there was legislation to support TRS, it's statewide, to support TRS recipients with Social Security. For the longest time, Social Security was capped. You could only get a certain percentage of your Social Security
Right.
if you were getting TRS. That has recently been removed. Now, to be a retirement plan, like self-insured retirement plan, I think we would have to really look at our financials because it would be a huge investment on behalf of the college. And honestly, I don't know how that would be sustainable. The issue we're going to have with Social Security looking to the future is that people who have paid into for, like me, for 45 years, we've been paying into Social Security. If it ceases to exist, what happens to the money I paid in? And I think that there will be so many lawsuits to try to stop that. I don't foresee that happening in the near future.
Let's hope not.
Right. But I do think that it's important to note that now, if someone retires today and is on TRS, they will be able to reclaim their full Social Security benefits and not get cut, where before you were. And sometimes you couldn't get any of your Social Security if you were getting an X amount of money in your TRS. And so I think those changes have been extremely helpful to TRS recipients. But, and some of you may have seen that this summer where you got a nice little bump. But to be, and I don't know, Mr. Vela, but to be retirement insured will be a lot, especially when you have the kind of longevity that a system like ours has.
Yeah.
The longevity here
It's
is
very
people
long.
don't retire.
They don't leave.
They don't leave. And I don't know how financially if possible that would be, but it's certainly something for us to keep in mind. And I don't know if you want to add to that, sir.
Frankly, it would be great if we were to offer over and above the teacher
Give a lot of
retirement, also some additional encouragement or not necessarily encouragement, but a little, how shall I say, a fringe benefit, all right?
A little.
Something that will add to the overall faculty as well as administration. I don't know, but I think, like coming back again, Laredo College is the only that I know of,
Not
the
anymore.
only one.
Not anymore?
No,
Not anymore?
there are several who do that. They
Is
pay-
that there are
yeah,
other
Good.
colleges?
Yeah.
Well, for a while, the Laredo College was the only one.
Yeah, no, now they
Yes.
do. Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you.
led the way, sir. You led the way.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
Next item is just a summary on the salaries. And this is basically the three recommendations that were proposed by TASB. The first one is that are included in the budget is implement the pay structure adjustments to align with market. So one of those recommendation was to improve the starting salaries to $12.50 an hour from $12.15. That's a 2.9% adjustment, and to realign the midpoints to market. The second recommendation was to include the 3% general pay increase. This is to improve market position, and again, this is for all eligible employees. The 3% equates to a $2,450 increase to continuing faculty with master's degrees. The starting salary is set at $53,750. They're also recommending and are included in the budget adjustments at years 14 through 25 on the proposed master schedule to improve market position. So faculty members that are in those ranges from 14 to 25 will receive an additional adjustment. And again, this is to improve the market condition in those positions or for those employees that have been with the college between 14 to 25 years. The faculty GPI is calculated as a percent of the market median master salary in the peer group. And that's the way the TASB calculates that general pay increase for faculty. For non-faculty, it is calculated at the employee's pay grade midpoint. And then the last item that's included and was recommended by TASB is to provide adjustments to address market differences and maintain equity in certain positions. One of those adjustments is to include a 1% above the minimum or above the 3% GPI for any employee that falls below the minimum of the pay grade. So when those ranges are adjusted, we may have some employees that fall under the minimum. So TASB recommends giving an extra percentage to bring them to the minimum or above the minimum. Also, they're proposing to add an additional 1% for any employee that is below the 90% of the new midpoint. So anybody that is not within that 90% will receive an additional 1%. And then the last item was any placement scale adjustments. So basically looking at positions that may not be properly classified in the pay scale and make those appropriate adjustments. So again, all these recommendations, the three recommendations that were brought forward by TASB are included in the 2026 proposed budget.
Mr. Vela, before we go into the tax rate, I didn't see the student government budget for the fiscal year 2026. I don't know if it's under a different category.
It's in a different, I have it at the end.
Okay.
It's not broken down necessarily for like by line item.
It's
There is
more
a-
than 15,000 that it was last year.
Let me,
That's all I need.
Yes.
Okay.
We have plenty of money.
yes, they are increasing that budget, ma'am. And we'll work with the department to make sure that
That they get.
the allocation is increased, but they are including an increase.
How much?
See, right now, I think I'm seeing 20,000
20,
Mhm.
from
20,
15,000 to 20.
From 15 to 20.
from 15 to 20.
And again, this is a separate budget. It comes from the student services area. So that the allocation for the year for that, and I'll go over it right now. I think it's, but I can tell you right now that the allocation, the total allocation for that budget is $1 million. Let's see,
I know, but they can use $1 million.
$1,369,000. And that covers all of the student activity items.
I just think it's very hard to operate with a monthly budget of $1,600. I know previously it was $1,200. I mean, I was in student government before, and trust me, that's not enough.
Yes,
I mean,
and
if we want them to be very active, right, and be able to reach out to more students, $16,000 is not much.
yeah, so the budget allocation is coming from the student fee. So right now, the student fee revenue is projected to be $1,369,000 for next fiscal year. But out of that $1,369,000, they have to cover other expenses. So we work with the director from Student Life to create those individual budgets. They did request an increase to the line item. We can certainly revisit the amount and try to reallocate some of the funds. Again, the overall budget cannot exceed the 1.36.
I mean,
I'm
they
sorry,
are
the
very
1.3
active.
million.
They have presence in almost every event that we have as an institution, from enrollment events to other events. Yeah,
Today they had the
yeah,
donuts.
we've seen it. They do their work. They're very enthusiastic, and I think that they do need our support in terms of financial.
Same thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe is it possible that we could find some donors or something that could help? You know, that would help just to boost it.
Well, we'll certainly work on that and try to
Thank you.
increase that budget. The next item is just an update on the tax rate. Tax rate for 2024 was set at 0.242418. The M&O rate was 0.197515. The debt service rate was 0.044903. For 2025, the proposed tax rate, which again, we're proposing the no new revenue rate, is being proposed at 0.229249, which is a 1.3 cent decrease from the current rate, or 5.43% decrease. The M&O rate would be at 0.194779, and the debt service rate would be at 0.034470. When we apply the existing rate right now to the average homestead taxable value in '24 of $219,797, the tax would come up to be $532.83. With the proposed tax rate of 0.229249, and the average homestead taxable value for '25 being at $226,783, a homeowner would see a tax of $519.92. So that's a decrease of about $13, or 2.2% decrease to their taxes. When we look at the levy on all properties, and this is including the freeze taxable property, in '25, our tax levy is projected to be $59,828,262. And from the current tax levy of $56,810,196. That represents a $3,018,066 increase, or 5.31% to the tax levy. And again, part of that increase is attributed to new property. And then I believe we had calculated a $4 million increase. We are also, because we're reducing the debt service rate, there is $1 million reduction on the debt service side. So again, we're going from 10 million to 9 million on the levy for the debt service. So overall, the increase on the levy would be $3 million, $18,066.
Questions? Okay.
The last item is the operating budget, and this includes all the funds. Again, we went over the general operating fund, and we do have an increase of $5.3 million from 81 million to 86 million. Federal funds, we are projecting a decrease from 10.5 million to 6.8 million. We are including budgets here for some of the grants, federal grants that are still may be cut. We do have some funding still available because those grants run through 2026. But again, we're subject to any decisions that may come from the federal government. We are losing a couple of the grants, and that's why you're seeing a decrease of from 10.5 to 6.8 million in federal funding. State funds, and again, these are grants, 861,000 in 25, 631,000, and these are projected budgets for 26. Local funds, and again, this is private funding, whether it be through local agencies or private donors, 3.5 million for 25, 3.1 million is projected for 2026. Student financial aid, we are projecting an increase of from 25.7 million to 30.6 million. This is the next item is the appropriation for the Global Import and Export Center. And that is, again, 141,000 for 25, 141,000 for 26. The repairs and alterations, and this is the account or the transfer that goes to the physical plant from the general operating fund to cover for maintenance and deferred maintenance projects. We're increasing it by that 1.7 million that is coming from the general use fee. The debt service pretty much stays the same, 17.8 million for 25, 17.8 million for 26. And then the construction, again, we're winding down the facilities master plan projects. For 25, the budget was 6.9 million. For 26, 1.5 million. So overall, for 25, we had a total budget of 149,209,174. For 26, the proposed budget would be 150,839,283. Again, the line item or the area where the student services budgets are included in the auxiliary enterprises. As I said, that's 1,369,000 that is allocated. Within that 1.3 million, we'll work with the directors to make sure that the student government and the student clubs receive their an increase in their allocations. And that is the update on the budget. Any questions?
Any questions? No? I guess that's it.
I wanted to make a comment before.
Yes.
I just wanted to wish Tita Vela happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ms. Vela.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
25 to the second power.
All right, if there's not any questions, then we're adjourned. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the De La Garza building, tomorrow is at the De La Garza.
Tomorrow.
At the De La Garza. But it's over there from now on, right?
For the general meeting, yes.
Yeah.
For the committee meetings, we're gonna do in here.
Yeah.
Ah,
Mande. Mande. Cuando quieras.
This week.
Cuando, háblame.
Bye, Judge.
Thank you very much, lady.
¿Cómo
Muy bien,
está?
how are you?
Bien, gracias a Dios.
Me da gusto.
Congratulations. I love her so much. Siempre se ha portado muy, muy bien conmigo.